Good afternoon, traders. Good evening, depending on the time you are watching this particular video. Today, we are going to be discussing a very important topic, which is entry conditions. As we all know that in trading, it's very easy for you to mark out your structure. It's very easy for you to mark out that your order block. But by the time market gets to that your entry price, that entry point, that point of interest, what exactly do you really want to see for you to make your decision? And today I'm going to simplify this particular concept in the market, whereby I'll be relating from a kind of candle and also to the kind of patterns you'll be seeing on the lower time frame. So I want to watch the video to the end, and don't forget, if you have not subscribed to this particular channel, please click on that subscription button and subscribe so that you can always have access to more tips like this. Okay guys, please let's go to the chart. Let's see what the chart is giving to us. All right, as you can see what I have on my screen here, I have this particular circle here, which I state structure, valid order block, and liquidity. Now, for you to trade, definitely you must have understand the structure. You must understand the direction of the market. You must understand either the market is selling or the market is buying. And once you understand that, the next thing you also want to look at is your valid order block. That's your order block is your point of interest. That's the point at which you want to get into the market. So once you recognize that, then the next thing is you also want to see the liquidity areas. Where do you really have the liquidity in the market? Where do you have the money standing that the market makers may likely grab before going in our favor? So once you identify these three basic things, the next thing is you now want to take your trade. Now, for you to do that, traders, the first thing you have to understand is you must understand your price actions. We have different kind of candle formations in the market, but for the sake of my entry conditions, what I really use is a bearish and a bullish pin bar. And talking about bearish and bullish pin bar, they are one of the easiest price actions to trade, because whenever it prints, now let's look at what we have here. The market opens at this particular level and the market pushed to the upside, giving you average about maybe 25% of the body at the top here. Definitely the next candle should start printing from here, and you expect that next candle to continue going up. The same thing is applicable for a sell or a bearish pin bar as well. We have this about 25% of the body to the downside. Definitely the next candle should start printing from here and the market should continue coming down. So looking at this kind of a thing, I already know that if I find this particular candle formation at my point of interest, this candle can form at any part of the market, but I need it at my point of interest. Once it forms, then definitely I will start looking for a way to join the market. Now, let me show you something on this particular chart here. Okay. Now, this is just a drawing. As we all know that drawing is different from what chart gives to us. So this market is an uptrend, because looking at the market, I'm having higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low. So in this kind of market, in this kind of movement, I already know that I have liquidity area here which I'm expecting markets to come and grab. The next thing is I'm expecting market to give me a bullish pin bar at this particular price. Once I'm seeing that bullish pin bar, I already know what to look for on the lower time frame, and that's why I said you have to watch this video to the end. Now, we all understand that after you mark out your order block, you are expecting a pin bar to form at your entry point, and I want you to be attentive at this point now. Now, I'm looking for a bullish pin bar on the 4 hours or 1 hour at my entry price. I'm a swing trader, so I allow market to give me those formation for me to make my decisions. So here, take note, I'm looking for a bullish pin bar at my demand level, and I'm looking for a bearish pin bar at my supply level. Now, why am I looking for it? Once those kind of candle forms on 4 hours or 1 hour, then I will go to a lower time frame. My lower time frame will be 15 minutes, which is what we have here, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, or 1 minute. Please, I need you guys to take note of this. The first thing I'm looking at is at my point of interest, I want to see a kind of bearish pin bar or bullish pin bar, depending on the direction I'm going to. And once that kind of pin bar forms, then the next thing I'm looking at is stepping down to a lower time frame to see the kind of pattern market will be giving me. Now, something you need to understand, right? is whenever this kind of candle forms, which is this pin bar, either bullish or bearish pin bar, the lower time frame patterns will be giving you a kind of head and shoulder or inverse head and shoulder. Take note, head and shoulder or inverse head and shoulder. So what I have here is, once I'm seeing this on the 4 hours time frame within my order block, within my point of interest, the lower time frame of 50 minutes, 5 minutes, or 1 minute is giving me a head and shoulder or inverse head and shoulder. Now, there's something we need to understand, right? Let's assume you are trading this particular pin bar at your supply level and you're expecting a pin bar to form for you to sell. Definitely, you allow the pin bar to form and you are selling from somewhere here. Maybe your stop loss is just a little bit above that particular pin bar. Looking at this particular movement, you notice that you're now having a very big stop loss because you expect the market to print it, then you want to start selling from here. So for someone who is selling on that higher time, you are having a very high stop loss pips. But look at somebody who chooses to step down to a lower time frame, like the likes of maybe 15 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, or 1 minute. When you are selling from this particular level here and your stop loss is here, right? Me looking for that lower time frame, that head and shoulder, that's inverse head and shoulder, I'll be selling from here because the 4 hours time frame you are seeing, that 4 hour time frame closes here, which the lower time frame would have given you a head and shoulder or inverse head and shoulder. Now I will not position myself to take a sell from this particular level. Now I'm showing you this as a picture of what I expect the market to show for me. I'll be taking you to the chart so that you can see what I've done in my journal, how I've taken advantage of this particular concept. It's very easy. The most important thing is you must identify your valid order block you want to buy or sell from. Then you're looking for maybe a 1 hour L, a kind of 4 hours pin bar, either bearish or bullish. Then once you are seeing that pin bar, then you are stepping down to a lower time frame, either 15, 5 minutes or 1 minute to make your decisions. With this, you already have a very good entry conditions. And now explaining this to us, I want to take us to charts so I can see how I take advantage of this on my journal. I've been doing this for a couple of years. So I want to show you how I take the advantage. Never forget that what we have here is just a kind of a picture, right? It's a kind of a drawing. So on the chart, we are going to be having a very good presentation. So let's go to the chart, guys. Okay. Now looking at it, if you see what we have here, I have a kind of a daily pin bar. So by the time you start trading this particular concept, you'll be able to relate higher time frame to a lower time frame. So here I have a daily pin bar reacting. It was a 4 hours hobby that we had here, and a daily pin bar printed, giving me this particular bearish pin bar. So without not wasting time, the daily has given me a bearish pin bar. If I'm to sell this particular market, I will start selling from here because I'm expecting the next candle to be bearish and the market continues selling. But if I'm selling from here, my stop loss will be very wide. And that is why I now take advantage of going to a lower time frame to now see what the market is giving me on the lower time frame. You notice that the lower time frame has given me a kind of head and shoulder. That is, I have this particular level here, market coming down. Then I have this OB here. And looking at it, I have my shoulder, this is the second shoulder. I expect the market to continue selling to the downside. This is just one of my journal. All right, let me show you another one, guys. Let me show you another one. Okay, looking at this particular chart now, this is Euro card, and if you can see, it's on the daily time frame. And looking at it, I already have a valid levels which the market is reacting from, which is, and I have a daily pin bar within that particular hobby, a daily pin bar. Now looking at it, this was the hobby the market is reacting from, and since I've gotten that pin bar, I don't need to stress myself because the direction of the market for me is also bearish. So I'm expecting market to come and create a new lower low. So market has gotten to a very good premium price. That should be the last level of retracement for the sell to continue. And look at how the market printed up bearish pin bar. And now I now need to step down to lower time frame to see what the market has given on the lower time frame. Now looking at my lower time frame, right? I got a shoulder here, which the market has done change of character and break of market structures to the downside. And market retraces back to a valid order block, and that is where I take myself to the downside. So looking at it, you must understand that pattern, which is head and shoulder and inverse head and shoulder. And also you must understand your candle. You should be able to relate your higher time frame candle to your lower time frame candle, so that it's very easy for you that immediately you are seeing that candle on the higher time frame, you are stepping down to your lower time frame to see the possible pattern the market is giving to you. This is a very clean one. I mean, to me, this one is very clean because it's even direct. They can easily use your head and shoulder pattern to mark it out. Okay, this is another one on the AUD USD. By the time you are going through the data I have, I trade most time major pairs. So looking my because I've done my back testing on the major pairs and I've seen how it gives me my result. That's why I love trading it. So for you to do it also on your own, please make sure you run your back testing very well. Make sure you've done your back testing very well. Now looking at what I have here, I've gotten a very good pin bar on the 15-minute time frame. You can see I have a pin bar on the 15-minute time frame. And looking at my looking at my pin bar, I'm expecting that market to continue going up. So that means on the lower time frame, that means if I'm seeing that on 15 minutes, then I'm stepping down to the next lower time frame, either 5 minutes or 1 minute, to see the pattern the market will present for me to take a buy. So the market has given me liquidity grab here, and I make mention at the beginning of this video that we are looking at liquidity areas. I got liquidity grab here, and the market has given me change of character to the upside. Having seen that, don't forget that the higher time frame 15 minutes gave me a bullish pin bar. Then I'm seeing a valid order block here. Expect market to push back here, then I join a buy to the upside. This particular pattern movement make things very easy for me. So that means if I'm not seeing that kind of entry condition, then I'm not trading. That is the rule. We are not trading, and that is where the discipline comes in. I have another one on Euro GBP. Based on what you are looking at, Euro GBP entered this particular 1 hour order block, and I got a 1 hour bullish pin bar. As you can see that the market pushed to the downside, mitigates my hobby. I did not get into the market immediately. Market gave that mitigation. No, I allowed the markets to give me a confirmation on the higher time frame, which I got that on that 1 hour. And now I need to step down to lower time frame to see how I can get in. Don't forget that I have a bullish candle, which is a bullish pin bar on 1 hour time frame. But looking at it on the 1 minute time frame, the market pushed into this level. I have this high, the market pushed to the downside, grabbing the liquidity, and what happened? The market pushed to the upside, giving me a change of character to the upside. Once I got that, then I have a valid order block here, which the market gave the good correction back to, because this is another good movement for me to have that confirmation that truly this market want to go in my favor. And after that, we have a bullish movement to the upside. As a trader, pattern is one of the easiest way for you to trade. Once you can recognize it, then it's easy for you to come in and trade it. So immediately you learn how to master the pattern, then it makes things very easy for you. This and that one on the ADUS, this is sell movement. And if you can see what I have on my charts here, on the 1 hour time frame, I have a very good bearish pin bar at a very good supply level. So my expectation is I expect this market to give me a lower time frame. Now let's see what we have on the lower time frame. On the lower time frame, I have a change of character here, and the market pushed back to a valid order block on 5 minutes where the market mitigates and the market dropped to the downside. Now, something I need you to understand about this particular concept, right? This particular concept make things easy for you because it reduce it. Okay, let me say it increase your risk reward ratio. Yes, because imagine you are trading on the 4 hours time frame. Your 4 hours time frame is giving you a bearish pin bar, and your stop loss is like maybe 40, 30 pips. But by the time you are going to a lower time frame, having that entry conditions, then you are now having a kind of maybe 10 pips, 15 pips. Definitely, if you're looking at the same target, if you're looking at the same reward, the difference will be very clear. So this is something on the AD New Zealand. I got a very good bearish pin bar on the 4 hours time frame, and stepping down to a lower time frame. The lower time frame gave me this particular head and shoulder. If you can see this my head and shoulder, it has a change of character to the downside. And something I also want you to understand, right? When you're marking out your head and shoulder, make sure The end and shoulder has given you a change of character. That shift to that direction you want to sell or buy is the confirmation you have, just like what you have on the screen now. Okay, this is another one, ADSD, which is a 4 hours candle formation at a very good demand level. Definitely here, I'm looking for a buy, and I'm waiting for a lower time frame to give me that condition for me to buy. And now let's see what we have on the lower time frame. Okay, on the lower time frame, as you can see, I have a shift of that structure to the upside on 5 minutes, and I have a BOS to the upside. Look at it here. We have a very good liquidity area, which I'm expecting market to even come down and grab, and I expect market to drop to the downside, mitigate this particular OB, then give me that impulse movement to the upside. It makes things very easy for you when you can take time to study the chart. This is Euro USD on the 4 hours. The market also mitigate that OB, giving me a bullish pin bar within that particular zone. That's another thing. So your either your bearish or bullish pin bar should be within that zone you want to trade from. So the market mitigate that particular level. Now on the lower time frame, then we had this particular inverse head and shoulder. This is my shoulder one, shoulder two, mitigation, the market moves in your favor. Immediately you understand how to interpret the market. This is another one on GPP JPY, a sell movement. Looking at it, I have, I know, being marked on my chart. I have a 4 hours point of interest, which market mitigator power point of interest, giving me this particular bearish pin bar. Then on the lower time frame, I got this. Imagine you are waiting for entry and you've seen your higher time frame candle formations, and now you're now waiting for this particular market formation. Look at what it took this market to give us that correction back. This will before selling. So what I do is once I see that higher time frame confirmation, I've seen my change of character, and I've marked out a value order block. I don't stress myself. I will just place my trade and allow it to run. With that, because I've run a lot of back testing, I've picked a lot of trades in respect to this. I have is a data I've been keeping it for a couple of years, doing the same thing all over and over again. So looking at it, this is my data that I'm presenting to you. What I need you to do as a trader is also go back to your charts, right? Mark out that valid order block, because what you want to do now is a kind of back testing. So mark out those your valid order blocks. Once you are done with that markout, look at the kind of candles that form within the order blocks. Once you recognize those candles, then go to a lower time frame and see what it has done. Which kind of pattern does it give to you? Once you can relate your candle formations to the patterns, I bet it with you, it makes things very easy for you as a trader. Guys, this is what I trade. This is how we trade in our community, because we focus on what that works. So I want to encourage you to do the same thing. Make sure you do your back testing, make sure you do your forward testing, right? And try to watch this video. I don't expect you to watch this video once and just guess to start trading, head and shoulder or lower time frame entry. You have to watch it and also to be able to apply it so that it's very easy for you. I remember humble self, guys. Banks, please don't forget, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do, so that we can easily communicate. And if you want me to discuss anything, please just go to the comment section. I will definitely reply you. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I wish us a profitable week ahead. Peace.